Hello there. Today in my channel I'm going to tell you a story time. I haven't done many story times for you yet because most of my stories are rather inconspicuous. My name is Yasmin, and if you haven't already given me the subscribe button, it is below, as well as the bell notification and the thumbs up if you really like this video. As you saw in my intro, today is story time, and I am going to reveal to you something that I did back, this was actually going back quite a few years ago. Actually, it was quite a few years ago. And the reason that I haven't shared a lot of my stories with you is because one is, I don't want to give the wrong impression, but then two, I thought, well, who cares? Whatever. So on a serious note, before I intro this, I'm just going to make a disclaimer, and I am going to say that I'm not mentioning any names within this video, nor will I give exact details, and I'm also not going to condone like any of the behavior that I did. I do believe in karma, and usually I'm one to just kind of like sit back and let karma unfold and, sit with a bucket of popcorn and go, but in this particular instance, this certain individual did really get me very mad. And as you can go on, you'll see why this person got me very mad. And he also put me in quite a bit of a risk as well. So let the story unfold. So we're going to go back quite a few years in time, and I had met this particular guy on Tinder, and we started a relationship for approximately 6 months. Now everything was fine, and it just got to that point throughout, like towards the last end, where like women, our intuition, actually a lot of us, some of us have amazingly strong intuitions. Like we just can sense things before they even happen, and we know things and we can just tell, right? I do believe that it's something that some of us are just born with. So when he started to act a little bit shady, right? Like, I just was getting, and not when he was with me. When he was with me, he was completely fine. It was like Jekyll and Hyde, like completely different people. But when we weren't together, it was like really absent. Like he started to not answer my calls. He started to reply to my text really, really late. And my intuition was just like, this guy's like, something's going up, I'm just gonna call it. But every time I called it, he would come running. You've seen in a past video about how I've spoken about narcissists, and it is this thing about, always chasing and always like it's that thrill of like chasing you and making sure that they get you, but once they've got you, they treat you like trash. Now, this particular guy, like everything had been completely fine. It just kind of like changed and went weird. And usually people can withhold, like it's about the 6 month mark that you really start to see someone's really true personalities shine through, right? Good and bad, and usually it's like they slide and get worse. So if you meet someone and they start off bad, in 6 months time they're going to be worse. So anyway, every time I went to call it, he would come running. Like literally he would be wherever I was within like 30 minutes, and he would take me out and he would be like all over me, like, no, I want to be with you, and I never met anyone like you, and blah 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 blah. But then straight away it was like reverting back to that exact same behavior. Then what was the actual final straw for me? It was Valentine's Day. I'm not really one to be really that big on Valentine's Day. I do believe if you really care about someone, then it shouldn't just be exclusive to one day of the year. It should be, consistently ongoing and regular behavior. But this particular Valentine's Day, I suppose we're only kind of like freshly, it was within that 6 month period, and I thought I would be romantic and have a surprise ready for him. He was 2 hours late. 2 hours. I was frothing at the mouth. I was like smoke coming out of my nose, smoke coming out of my ears. But it wasn't just like 2 hours late. Like every few minutes, like 15 minutes, he's like, sorry, I'm late, I'm not far away. Sorry, I'm late, I'm not far away. Sorry, I'm late, I'm not far away. Like, but this went for 2 hours. So obviously by the time it came close to the 2 hour mark, I was like, stuff you. No, I'm done. Like, that's it, whatever. Because, you know, you only take like so much, and when you don't respect yourself, other people don't respect you either. So that was that. But in my mind, I'm like thinking, I want to get to the bottom of this. I need to bust this guy once and for all. So this is just going to be a little bit of a lesson to all you men out there, as to men can be a little naive as to the lengths that women will go to actually catch you out. Like, we know in our gut, we know in our intuition, we know exactly when you're being unfaithful, like exactly. So anyway, we had met on Tinder, right? And so I decided to just go like log in and create another account on Tinder straight away. Like, I'm flicking. I just put in his stats, flicking. Oh, he comes up on Tinder. I'm like, honestly, I was like ropeable, like, so I deactivated my account. Obviously went through my, like, you know, instantaneous, like, angry, whatever, crying. Like, it went from the crying emotional stage to the really angry stage. This was also like literally like that same day. So he had been, the reason why he was probably like cancelling a lot of dates with me within this last month period and like didn't turn up Valentine's Day was because he was probably like with someone else on those times, right? And he couldn't like time juggle everything, right? So anyhow, the reason why I'm saying he put me in risk is because obviously we're in a relationship and like you can pass on things, and I'm not going to get into this because I didn't 18 plus this video, but you know what I mean. So obviously it was like, you know, not only did you deceive me, but you like put me in a risk. So then after I calmed down, after my like emotional state and then my anger state, my mind started to tick. And then I really just thought to myself, how am I gonna get it back? He honestly angered me that much. Normally, as I said, I'm a big believer in karma and just let it unfold. But in this particular instance, I was like, no, I have to have the final laugh here. So let's go on to what I did next. So after I had got over that stage, I plotted and conspired to actually getting a really good one back that to this day, he may end up seeing this. He may not end up seeing this. There were some people like that were around when it all unfolded, and they saw me laugh like in stitches and how much it amused me and entertained me, and it was wonderful. So this is what I did. Very, very easy, ladies. If you feel like your man is up to no good, here is what to do. So I created a fake Tinder account. Very easy to do. Like, you just find some images off Google or whatever, you make your fake Tinder account. Make my fake Tinder account. This guy must have been swiping right to literally everybody, because I found him on there, I swiped right. Meanwhile, I wasn't swiping right to anyone else on there. This was exclusively just for him. Swiped right and he matched with me like really, really quickly. Obviously start to get the real like flirting talk on and whatever, and we make a date. We make a date down, and I like convinced him to meet me that evening down like a street that's in one of the nearby suburbs to the city that kind of is like an area, like the next area from which he lives in, and also has a lot of eateries there. So I asked him to like meet me down at this street where the eateries were. Lo and behold, he turns up. I wouldn't give him my number because he asked for my number. And then obviously I get the message on Tinder, where are you? You're not here. He goes, huh, I knew you weren't going to turn up. So then instantly I deactivated my account, and then I created a second fake account. Number 2, knowing very well that he would have been, you know, oh, feathers are up, waiting for this date to like meet him down in this, you know, wherever, and go on a date and end up where, whatever. I knew that he would be looking to rebound, so created the second account. He, of course, I swipe right to him, he matches with me straight away. This guy was like literally out fornicating with all of the city, more than likely, while he was with me. I was like, meanwhile, I was thinking to myself, well, aren't you just so gullible and desperate that you're like flicking right to everyone? I was like, I can't believe I ever dated you. So start the, you know, flirtatious chats on there. La, 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 la. He wanted to meet up that night, but I stalled him. I thought to myself, no, I'm going to keep the games going on for another 24 hours. So I started flirting, telling him, you know, how much, you know, of a great time we're going to have on our date. We're going to this and we're going to that. I really G'd him up, like to the point he was so like dying to meet my secondary fake profile from Tinder. So come the day's time, I thought, you know, I'll have wine ready for us. You bring us pizza, come over, and you know, we'll commence our date. This is where the fun started. So the time came. I made it for 8 p.m. and it was a weeknight. He's asked me, what address do I go to? What's your address? I tell him my address. But the address that I gave him was not my address. Clearly it was not my address. I gave him the address of a local adult entertainment establishment. But it wasn't a famous adult entertainment establishment. It was probably a dodgy, seedy, gross one. It would have been deceiving to look at because it was in like an area, it probably was one of those townhouses that were converted that has like not even anything. It's a townhouse and look residential from the outside, but once you go inside you realize that you're in a seedy, dodgy place. So anyway, I get the message on the Tinder and he says, hi, I'm here, where do I go? So I tell him, just knock on the door, I am waiting inside. He goes, okay, I'll see you soon. So anyway, I'm sitting back and I have a few friends around and I'm like, actually like to myself, like some time went by, like about 15 minutes, and I literally thought to myself, what the hell has happened? Like, was he showing the receptionist in there the messages? Was he checking to see like the photos to verify if that particular photos that were obviously fake photos were actually there? I don't know. But anyway, 15 minutes went past. Then I get a message from him. Ha 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 ha, very funny. Instantaneously deactivated the account and I am on the floor stitching and in laughter, like I got you back. Then anyway, about a month went by and I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if he knew it was me that was playing tricks on him. I wonder, just out of curiosity, like surely not. Then anyway, in typical narcissistic behavior, suddenly I got a message from him. I'm so sorry, I need to apologize, blah, 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 blah. And I wondered, surely he couldn't have known that it was me then that played those pranks on him. Like, surely not if he wants to meet up and apologize. And then obviously I said, no, I'm not interested. You were like cheating and whatever, like, no. And he goes, what do you mean I was cheating? No, I wasn't. So anyway, that was that. Needless to say, at the end of the day, I do still have the final laugh in all of this equation. Whether or not he was cheating or not, like, I had the final laugh. Would I condone this behavior again? You know what? If someone put me at a health risk again, yeah, probably I definitely would. Generally speaking though, you just gotta let karma unfold. But sometimes, you know what? The last laugh is just too priceless. In another note, this particular fellow, every time I've like jogged on Tinder, sometimes I think he's still there, like years and years later, he's still like doing the same tricks on Tinder. So it just goes to show you guys, like literally, I don't know if any of you are on these dating apps, but it's kind of like, really? You got like syphilis with every single person on there. Whoa. Sorry if you're a Tinder user, but I can't exactly say that it's, you know, very